Let's first look at how do you earn returns by investing in equity shares. When you invest in an equity share of a company, you expect to earn returns in two forms. One in the form of share price appreciation and second in the form of dividend returns. What do you mean by share price appreciation? Is you buy the equity share for a certain price and you expect the price of the share to go up over a period of time, and when you sell it at a higher price, you realize a gain from selling that share which you bought at a lower price. The second way how you earn returns in equity is in the form of dividends. Dividend is nothing but the way in which the companies distribute their profits among its shareholders. Companies, as they run their operations, they earn profits every year. They decide what they want to do with these profits. If there is a requirement for the company to put the money towards expansion of the facilities of the company or increasing its capacities, it will use those profits for that. If it thinks that it does not need all the money, then part of it can go towards paying out to shareholders as dividends. So dividend is nothing but the part of the profits the company has earned which is given back to you as an investor, and that part of the profits which is not given back to you is reinvested back for the expanding the operations of the company, which should eventually result in higher profits tomorrow and which will have a direct impact on the share price of the company. So the profits which the company earns can either be paid out to you immediately or they can be invested for future growth of the company. If they are paid out to you, you receive cash in your hand. If they're invested for future growth of the company, you expect that to reflect in a higher share price tomorrow when the company realizes that future growth. Let me run an example with you so that you understand how you make returns by investing in an equity share of a company. Here we've taken the example of HDFC Bank. If you were to buy 100 shares of HDFC Bank on 5th of January 2018, the prevailing price was INR 931 rupees. After you purchase a share, this chart shows you how the price of the shares moved till September 2020. So you can see that the price of the share went up to 1055 and all the way up to 1268 before it crashed in March 2000 because of the COVID pandemic to a low of 761, and it recovered most of the losses and was back at 1049 in September 2020. So if you bought the shares at 931 and today the price was 1049, the differential between these two is the profits that you make as a result of appreciation in the value of shares of HDFC Bank. In addition to the appreciation in the value of shares, the company also declared dividends 3 times in this period from January 2018 till September 2020. The first dividend was declared in April 2018, then in April 2019, and finally in July 2019. The amount of dividend declared was INR 13 per share, INR 15 per share, and INR 5 per share respectively. So that is the amount of money that was given back to you from the profit share of the company. To the extent of dividend given by the company back to you, the share price of the company would have reduced. Why? Because it was money which belonged to the company which was given back to you as a shareholder. So to that extent, the value of your share would reduce, and that is why when we look at the total return you earn from investing in equities, we add the share appreciation plus the dividend amount that is paid out to you, because once the dividend is paid to you as an investor, the company does not have any control over what you do with the money. When talking about dividends, let me introduce another term which you should be familiar with, which is known as the dividend yield. What do I mean by dividend yield? It is nothing but the portion of the earnings that you get back in the form of dividends when you make an investment in a stock. So if I bought the stock for 931 rupees and I earned a dividend of 13 rupees from that particular stock, the dividend yield for me as an investor is 13 by 931, which is 1.40%. So basically that much percentage of my investment I get in the form of dividend yield or in the form of returns on a year-to-year basis as and when the company decides to declare a dividend. One thing you should understand is statutorily the company is not obliged to declare a dividend. Whenever they earn the profits, they may decide whether they want to declare a dividend or not, and how much of this profit they want to give out as dividend to the shareholders and how much they would like to retain for the future growth of the company. If you were to look at the total returns you made by investing in equity shares of HDFC Bank over a period of 1 year, that is 2019, on 1st Jan 2019, the price of the stock was 1074, and on 1st Jan 2020, exactly 1 year later, the price of the stock was 1278. The stock had appreciated by an amount of 19%. Similarly, during this period, the company had a dividend yield of 1.21%, which was arrived at when you divide 13 by 1074, that is the purchase price for you as an investor. This gives you a total gain made on an equity share of HDFC Bank in 2019, which is equivalent to 20.21%. When you invest in equities, it is not uncommon that a very small portion of your return comes in the form of dividends and a much larger portion comes in the form of stock appreciation. Hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as we enjoyed creating it for you. So what are you waiting for? Go right now on the link provided in the description below and register for our course Namaste Money. This course is an online course which will teach you all the basics about your personal finances and answer the questions of where you must invest, how you must invest, and more importantly, why you must invest in a particular investment product. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for freshly brewed content from Wealth Café. And don't forget to save hard and invest smart.